Okay, welcome to This Week in Birding and Nature Photography with the Sunlit Earth Facebook group. This is Stephen Ramsden, and we are coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, and live from some undisclosed location in the UK with our Christmassy friend Alexandra Hart in her Santa Claus gear. And I'm not sure who might check on this week. We're trying something new, and it might just be me and Alexandra, which would be a pretty good show if you ask me. I will get into the spirit with her and the hubby. Hello, hubby. Hey, Darren. Let's see. Let's make this work, right? Okay. Very good. So we are just going to talk about stuff this week. Let me put us in the gallery view. There we go. And Charlie is here with me in case, Charlie, do you want to say hi? No, she doesn't want to say hi. So have you been on the Solar Sphere broadcast this morning by any chance, Alexandra?
Yeah, I've been listening to Mark and Helen, and then the person after that, I can't remember who that was about, Hallie, I think it was.
Very good. I see your Christmas lights in the background.
Yes, I've moved in here today because it's got a more comfy chair.
So it's dark in the UK?
Yeah, it has been for 3 hours.
That's pretty amazing. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, and so it's 7 p.m. there, or 1900, yes, as you would say, yes, in the UK. Well, I'm so glad that you joined us, and it might just be me and you, and that'd be fine with me. The big story this week. Well, I had a really bad phone call just a few minutes ago, and my friend Steve Rushing, who was on the broadcast last week, who was our guest, had his car broken into at the Nature Preserve today. He just called me, and he drives the same kind of vehicle that I drive. He has a FJ Cruiser just like I do, a Toyota, and they smashed in his window and took his stuff. So I'm working with the police on the other line concerning that now. And I was out there this morning to put up the security cameras, and I couldn't get anybody to help me do it. It's a 2-person job at least. And I really wish I'd put them up, because then we'd have a video of this person and we could have these people put in jail. We'll talk more about that though in a little bit. Yeah, it just really sucks that people have no respect for anything and go and just break in and steal your stuff.
They obviously know now that is an area where you can get really good high quality camera gear.
Right. And he was our guest last week. You remember Steve? He had his main camera with him in the Nature Preserve, but his bag and everything else was stolen. Plus his window was broken, just like mine. So he's going to be out several hundred, if not thousands of dollars. And the security cameras are all sitting on my table right over here, because I needed a ladder and someone younger than me to get up on the ladder to put them up. But I think I'm going to go back this afternoon and put them up.
Yeah.
So the big story in nature photography right now is Jupiter and Saturn in the western sky, and you probably can see that right now if you walked outside, except you're on our show instead.
Yeah, I saw it just for 5 minutes, and we had a really bad rainstorm. Sort of like when I would normally view it. But I just managed to catch, a 5-minute glimpse a couple of hours ago, and I posted it on Flickr.
Ah, cool. Well, I went out last night with I don't have any cameras still, because my stuff was all stolen a couple months back in November. But I was able to get a video of it, and it's hard to present this. With the camera view, it's so much different with your eyes or through a telescope. It's just that the camera view doesn't really do it justice. But we'll play a little bit of that, and there it is. And the interesting thing about this video, there's Jupiter and Saturn right next to a building in downtown Atlanta where I live. Are you seeing anything on that end?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a drone. Some guy was flying his drone the whole time through the frame. So we'll see when that comes in. Yeah, there's well, that's a jet right there. And there's Jupiter and Saturn. There's another jet. There's the drone. Are you seeing my mouse?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the drone. And of course, there's the moon, a little overexposed. But I was out on the sidewalk in front of my home last night, and I look, the city is right next to my house. So, it's beautiful to watch, and especially Monday night, it should be even prettier. But you really need a telescope or a very strong telephoto lens to do it justice on Monday night. There's the drone there flying around, the red light. And I thought about launching my drone because, yes, I'm a nerd and I have a drone. And I thought about launching it to take some video, except the camera on the drone is so wide angle you wouldn't even see it. You would not be able to see either one of them. But that's Jupiter and Saturn. And on the 4K video, you can see all four Jupiter moons clearly. And you can see the rings of Saturn through the little lens I was using, which was a very old kit lens, a 300 millimeter crappy kit lens. So you don't need much. And I hope that if anyone's watching, number one, you'll tune in, join us. Don't forget the password this time because we had so many hackers last week. So the link to join is right on this post that you're looking at in the description of the post. So just click the link and type in the password and you will be in with us. So Alexandra, you're my most loyal supporter and I'm very grateful for you. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday because you certainly deserve it.
Thank you.
And even hubby, even the hubby is a special friend. So there's the hubby.
Do you want to try and see my picture?
I do.
Jupiter and Saturn that I took a couple of hours ago. I don't know whether you can get onto. It'll be on my Facebook page.
Okay, let me go look at that real quick.
On a link to Flickr.
Yeah, because you make it difficult for us all by putting your stuff on Flickr. Let's see. All right, let's see. Are we friends on Facebook, Alexandra? I don't remember.
Maybe not. Right. Maybe I blocked you.
Well, you won't be the first woman that's blocked me on Facebook. My wife has blocked me 3 times.
Really?
And unblocked me. Every time she gets mad at me, she blocks me on Facebook. Which is quite often. Ah, there we go. Let's see yours.
There you go.
Now, is this your backyard garden?
Yeah.
Well, yes, 'tis looking over the houses.
Is that a submarine there on the bottom right?
It's a conservatory.
Oh, I see. And you have some green crystal. Well, what a beautiful yard area you have. Is that little shed?
That's a neighbor's garden.
Oh, that's the neighbors, and that's their neighbors with their lights on outside?
Yeah, full of light pollution. My garden doesn't have light pollution, but all the neighbors are terrible. And they just seem to have got worse this year as well.
Yeah, I know. You should see my place. So tell us all about how, well, first off, that triangle up in the top of the screen, is that Capricorn? What is that? Do you know? It's 3 stars.
Oh, don't ask me.
I think that's the constellation.
I have no idea about the star constellation.
Yeah, I believe that's Capricorn, but
I don't know.
I could be wrong. And I can't believe you didn't arrange for some noctilucent clouds for us, Alexander, or perhaps Aurora.
Well, not at this time of the year.
You're facing west.
It was. You can see like all the nasty clouds. I lost it just sort of like about 5 minutes after this photograph, so it was pretty ropey.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question about that in a minute. I'm going to take a chance here and admit whoever this guy is, and then I'm going to block him immediately because.
If you don't know who it is.
Well, it's hard to tell because a lot of my friends have. Okay. All right, let me get rid of this person. Yeah, all right, they went away. Good. All right. They got tired of waiting. All right, so tell us how with a DSLR you get those beautiful, beautiful spikes, because that is a really, really beautiful image, Alexander. How do you get those beautiful spikes coming out of the stars?
It's a plugin for Photoshop called Star Spikes.
Oh my goodness.
So if you click The image to the, I think, because you're on Flickr, if you go onto the right and click, you'll see an arrow.
Ah.
What it's like in true life. So I do put the true life on one as well.
Okay. Well, I thought that you had some, and there's the sun. I thought that you had a special secret with your lenses, like some kind of batten off mask or something. That was,
no.
This is all just trickery. Maybe if you put a International Space Station in front of that, you might get an APOD.
Yes.
Look how beautiful that is. Wow, that is a great, great effect. I'm going.
Yeah, it's the Star of Bethlehem, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. The 2 stars of Bethlehem.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I really like that. So that is Saturn and Jupiter just this evening, right? From your place?
Yep.
In the UK.
Hours ago.
Outstanding. And anybody that might be watching or wanting to join in, come on in, unless you're a hacker, and then don't come in.
Yeah.
And anybody who's on the show
it was rather interesting last week.
It was. We had a hacker get on and make some stupid remarks and all that. And so we got rid of them. And that's why there's a password this time.
Thing is, it didn't ask me for the password.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Okay. Well, did you click the link in my message, or did you use the same link you always use?
I used the link that was in your message.
Okay. So you know what? We may be on the wrong meeting, and that may be why nobody has joined yet. Because I'll tell you what, let's both sign. Well, we can't because I'm doing it live. All right. Because I had a different meeting link. All right. Let me go to the group and see what's going on here. You know, that phone call from Steve really bothered me.
Well, yeah, it puts you off, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. See the link. Okay. So.
Oh, what, you used the old link?
No. Well, you and I are on the old link, and we're the only ones that know about the old link. So that's why we're having such a wonderful chat with each other. And I don't mind that. I'm very happy to have that chat. But I think we should hang up, and on the Sunlit Earth page, if you don't mind, on the Sunlit Earth page, there is a Zoom link, okay? And we will click that and join with each other on that. How does that sound?
The thing is, that is the link that I used from the Sunlit Earth.
Oh, it is. And it didn't ask you for a passcode?
No.
Okay. I'm going to join it from my other computer and just make sure.
I can't see where it is.
This is awesome. And then I'm going to tell you a story. So stick around. Oh, there's Rafael Colon. Okay, good. So the link is working.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let me see. I'm going to make sure and join it from mine. Rafael.
Hello.
What is it?
No, Stephen's joining in again.
Okay. So I'm going to. All right, good. Hey, Rafael.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. So, wait a minute, what happened? Okay. Are we still going? We're still going.
Yeah.
Okay. we've had a few IT issues on this one, Rafael. I know that will shock you. We've had a little problem getting the computers going. And we were just talking about the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction and how you can take photos of it with your birding lens. So Alexandra showed her wonderful photo of Jupiter and Saturn, which you won't believe these diffraction spikes. I'm going to show it to you again real quick.
That's good old Photoshop, isn't it?
Yeah, she's such a skilled photographer. Let me see. All right, where is it? Okay, man, you're not gonna believe this photo, Rafael. Have you ever seen such beautiful diffraction spikes? What do you think about that, huh?
Great. What a great picture.
Does your telescope do that when you look at stars?
Nope.
Yeah, mine doesn't either. So, I was ranting and raving about how beautiful it was, and then she told me that's because it's a Photoshop plugin that makes it look good.
Well, like me as a gray owner, I always wanted to have some spike like this on my picture, but never showed.
Yeah. Well, it didn't show on her picture either. So, and then she showed us this is the actual photo, and the spikes were generated by Photoshop, but you can still see a couple of moons, all 4 moons actually in there, and
Really?
Saturn. So how is it at your place, Rafael? Have you been out to look at Jupiter and Saturn?
Well, everybody's crazy about the conjunction. All the media is talking
the
about
Christmas
it.
star.
Well, there is something very interesting. Miguel Acevedo from Sociedad Astronómica Dominicana, he had an interview and they used the right words and I was like, what did you do to them so they can put exactly what you said?
Yeah, the Christmas star. Yeah.
No, they didn't say that word.
Oh.
They talk about the conjunctions, so it was really great. Cool. And everybody is calling and writing, asking for this, how to see it, where to look for, and it's really great. A lot of people are interested in this.
Steve, we were just I'm sorry to interrupt you. We were just talking about your situation, and I'm sorry I had to get on the scheduled Sunlit Earth. But what happened? Can you tell us about what happened?
Well, same story. They just kind of banged the window in, grabbed a backpack that I keep in there that just has rain gear and a can of Spam. So nothing in terms of loss of anything important, but the hassle now. I got to go through, file the insurance, get someone to take care of the window, do all that kind of stuff.
Well, I will send you the link to the people I used, and they were half the price of the dealer for that window. It was about $300 for them to come out and do it at your house. And
I appreciate it. I was going to ask you that. I was going to text you.
I'll send that over to you. And I'm really, really, really sorry. Everybody was very shocked when they heard on our meeting. And it's just terrible, man. I really feel so bad for you, because I knew exactly how I felt when I walked up there.
You feel violated, right?
Yeah. I'm really glad you had your gear with you at least, but it's still such a pain.
I actually didn't do something I've traditionally done and just leave it unlocked, with nothing in it that was real valuable to lose. So that's, would prevent them from breaking all the windows and stuff.
Yeah. And we just had this conversation a few days ago about, how our vehicles, Steve and I drive the same kind of car, a Toyota FJ Cruiser, and the alarm doesn't have a glass break sensor on it. So I'm guessing your alarm did not go off.
No.
Or else there would be somebody dead on the street right now.
Well, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that can of Spam is rancid and it gets them.
Yes, I share that hope. And I'm so embarrassed and humiliated that we haven't gotten those cameras up yet. And Steve was parked right in front of the sign that I just put up that says 24-hour video monitoring.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, these guys have been pretty brazen, and I was thinking they would move on to another, not press their luck and move on. But Saturday around noonish, or 1 o'clock or so, whenever they did it in broad daylight, that's pretty damn brazen.
Yeah, every one of them have been at about that time, but they've only been on the weekdays. Rafael, if you don't know, Steve just had his vehicle broken into at the nature preserve, the same place I had mine broken into.
Wow.
And it's terrible. And
really bad.
That's even worse than down in the Dominican. I mean, you guys don't even have that many problems down there.
Yeah, we have big problems with things like this right here.
Well,
but Stephen, the 911 person, she said, "What's your address?" I said, "I don't know. I'm in front of Clyde Shepherd." She goes, "Oh yeah, this happened there to another guy."
Yeah.
They know. You don't even have to tell them.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. I was going to go over that what happened. You already heard this story, but I was going to go over that with people here about what happened with the camera gear. But Steve, I want you to know I'm really, really, really sorry, man.
Well, and there's all these people with their great time, but Alexandra and Raphael. So you and I will talk about where to get it fixed. But
yeah,
right now I'm drinking a beer and interested in the birding, particularly in the UK and down in the Dominican.
Well, Raphael's friend Fritz posted a photograph of a magnificent frigate bird with a big fish in its mouth flying by.
Yeah.
Perfectly focused photograph. And if someone up here had posted that, they'd have 50 birders in their yard right now. Do you know where that photo came from, Raphael?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know. Let me. Do you have the picture?
I'm going to bring it up now while you're talking about it. It'll take me just a second. Fritz Picardo Cornelio was on the show 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And back when we had our frigate bird and brown booby up here.
He couldn't be here today because his son that live in the States, they are studying in the States, now are here in the Dominican Republic. So he's have to take times to be with them. So I asked him if he could enjoy.
I know it was just last minute, and I was just trying something new this week, and we're having fun. Like I say, if it was just Alexander and I, we'd have a good time, and all 4 of us will have a good time. So let's pull up Fritz. There's so much activity on the page now that it takes me a while to find things, which is not a bad problem to have. Okay. Share. Okay. So there's Fritz's image.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that might be another bird in its mouth. I'm not sure what that is.
There is I don't know what is this in this big. This picture have a very interesting story. We were in the south side of the Santo Domingo, and we saw this bird, and we were taking photo. And then when it was so far, we saw a little bird coming from the bush and standing in a tree, and we was like, what is this? And we went focus the bird. It was Martin Pescador. I don't know how to say in English. This was let me see.
Did the bird land on your arm? Is that what you're trying to tell us? The bird landed on your arm and
no. It was let me check. It was a Martin Pescador. I don't know how to say it in English.
And Steve, I'm getting text messages from the board now. Everyone's shocked, and now everyone's available tomorrow to put in the security cameras tomorrow afternoon. So
it was a kingfisher. Yeah,
that's the bird in his mouth.
No. When this bird was so far away, we saw this little bird coming from the bush, and we were like, what was this? And when we focused with the camera, was a kingfisher. And then Fritz took a picture of the kingfisher too. Yeah.
So this was your second choice. This bird was not the main focus.
Yeah. I have a picture of this bird, but not that sharp, clear picture like Fritz. This is really amazing.
That's a pretty magnificent frigate bird, if you ask me.
Yeah, magnificent frigate.
Alexander, do they have those in the North Sea?
Frigate birds, no.
Yeah, I've never seen one either. We had one here for a few months ago, and everyone lost their mind trying to find it, including me. But Steve's taking photos now. He's probably got a frigate bird on his bird feeder right now. Maybe.
Just the kinglets, brown headed nuthatches,
Right.
chickadee, Carolina chickadees. But Raphael, kingfishers are my nemesis bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just taunt me.
They're so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a lot of them here, the belted kingfisher. But, a quality photo is very tough, not only because they're so fast, but because they're so high contrast, the whites and the blacks and the darks and the lights. What's going on in birding in the UK, Alexander?
The weather's getting colder and it's getting darker. And so like all the little birds are like coming into my garden now. Just about a month ago, I had hardly any birds. And now I've got flocks and flocks of little birds coming into the feeders. So it's just like manic all around the garden now. Thing is, what that does is it brings in the sparrowhawk as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, both the male and the female have been flying through a lot, but I've not seen them catching anything, but I'm sure they must be catching something somewhere.
There's the hubby.
We had a grey heron on the drive yesterday morning while Alexandra was at work. We're about 100 feet from a river, and it actually flew up the drive, and it was only 5 foot off the tarmac and nearly landed and went over while I was in the study. So they're coming into the garden too.
Wow. So it's a gray heron. Yeah, which is very similar to our great blue heron, but not the same bird. Yeah, it's a little
it's
different.
very similar though.
Mm-hmm. And they will eat anything, including your cat.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Puppies. Yeah, puppies, anything they can get in their mouth, they will eat. We had a photo on the Sunlit Earth site 2 weeks ago from Orlando, from Lake Apopka, of a great blue heron eating an alligator that was about 3 feet long.
It's incredible. I saw this.
Did you see that, Steve?
Yeah, I saw this.
By the way, I found the fox sparrows at the preserve this morning.
Oh, you did, in the same little spot?
Yeah, right back in that same area. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was one highlight, crushed by your exit. Yeah, so the gray heron is in the UK. That's awesome. And I don't know if you have pets or not, but and I would not recommend approaching the gray heron to try to shoo it out of your yard either, because it will put a hole right in you. It will. They go for the eyes. When we are taught how to rescue birds, that's one of the most dangerous birds there are to try to get when it's injured, because it will put that beak right through your face, right through your eyes. And Jupiter and Saturn, Steve, do you have any plans for getting a photograph of Jupiter and Saturn?
Yes, I do. I went out last night and practiced a little bit, and I need to keep practicing to get everything set up. But that's when I got that moon shot that you saw.
Yeah.
I went ahead and just got that. But I know where to go now. I know where I'm going to be able to see them through the trees. So.
Okay. Well, I would suggest, and of course, you know more than I do about cameras, but ISOs in the 100 to 200 range, and 1.5 to 3 second exposures for that, because that will let the moons of Jupiter come in clear also.
Yeah.
And Alexander has a great plug-in for Photoshop that will make it look like the Star of Bethlehem. What was the name of that, Alexander? What was the name of that plug-in? Do you remember?
Oh, it's called Star Spikes, but it's got another name as well, isn't it? Something like I think if you just put in Google Star Spikes.
I wonder if I can get that and make star spikes from my eyes,
Oh, it's Pro Digital Software. Star Spikes Pro 4.
Okay, I'm gonna get that one because
I'll have to do something, Stephen. You were right. I took my grandson, the 8-year-old grandson, and he was totally underwhelmed. He's a big Star Wars,
right.
Mandalorian,
right,
all that kind of stuff that you guys like so much.
Yeah. Well, it is underwhelming, to be honest with you. If you're not a astronomer, and if you don't look at it through a telescope, even then, if you don't really have any interest in it, it's even underwhelming then. But the biggest thing about this is that all of us astronomers are used to seeing only one planet in the field of view through a telescope at a time. And to see both planets in the same field of view is a big deal for us. But you know, the media has made it out like it's going to be some explosion and some, you know, the second coming of Jesus or whatever. But really, it's not any brighter than it is anyway. I mean, they don't combine their brightness, you know. It's just going to be the same brightness Jupiter is every night anyway. So
yeah, I was getting great shots over the summer of Jupiter, and I could get the moons just with my telephoto. But you know, I was shooting at about 840 or 1200.
Yeah, and you will get good moons with that. The more you zoom in, of course, you know, I say 1.5 to 3 seconds because after about 2.5 seconds, the planet becomes oblong because it's moving very quickly. So really 1 second to 1.5 seconds at ISOs around 400 will give you an outstanding shot. And really the wide angle shot is what's going to make the story this time. Because without a telescope, you know, you're just wasting, you know, you're not going to get a great photo of the planets without a telescope and an astronomy camera. But I am going to set that up Monday night up in the farm up north of here.
Oh yeah.
And but the problem with that is one planet is X brightness and the other planet is 1/10 of X brightness. So Jupiter is 10 times brighter than Saturn. So in the same field of view with a camera, it's impossible to get both of them exposed properly. So there'll be a lot of cheating.
Well, it's
I was going to say, you'll have to Photoshop it, won't you? Put them together.
Right.
One shot with one brightness and one shot with the other and overlay it.
Right.
I was going to say a lot of bracketing and a lot of stacking. Right.
Yeah. But, you know, that's already being done now. People are faking images already. And, you know, I've been seeing for the last 2 weeks, people putting up images side by side. In fact, I'll try to find one that my friend Jen Winter put up. She owns Daystar telescopes. And
I bet we will see transit of the International Space Station.
Oh yeah, well they can't.
Right. I'm sure.
It can't be an award-winning photograph unless it's got an ISS passing in front of it. That's an inside joke, Steve, because
I think I get it though.
Yeah, because these astronomers are always trying to get APODs, the astronomy photo of the day from NASA, and they're so faked now that you can't even rely on the authenticity of them anymore. So, but you got to have an ISS pass in your photo to be an APOD. Let's see if I can find this one. Ah, here we go. So far, this is the best photo I've seen of the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. Right here. Yeah, you know, that's awesome. They look so friendly. They're hugging each other.
They're not socially distant.
No, they're not.
Seems like it to me.
Yeah, seems legit, doesn't it? Yeah. And look at the moons. I like the moons too. Saturn's moon. So that's from Jen.
At least they have the precaution to put the moon also there.
Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn's moons. If only there was an ISS pass, that would be the one. So what else is going on down in Santo Domingo, Rafael?
Well, I have a little bird just right back in the house is Tigrina. Is Cape May warbler.
Cape May warbler.
Yeah. And I saw this because I saw this little bird jumping, and I said, "This is not a common one," so I can catch them. I have a picture here. I want to share with you.
Yeah, I'd love that.
It's not the best shot, but it was a little far. But I was so happy to see this. You see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That is a Cape May warbler.
Yeah. Was jumping a little far from the house, but I could see this.
Move it to the right just a little bit.
To the right, to the right.
Your other right. There you go. A little bit more.
Steven's right.
Yeah.
Right there?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
I see that Fritz Picardo Cornelio posted a photo of one also an hour ago because he couldn't let you outdo him, so he had to compete. Oh, I thought that was your dog barking, Raphael.
Okay. So I catch some birds, some I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, for some reason it's not sharing your full screen.
Okay. Just for a second.
There you go.
Share. Okay, just for a second. Okay.
I muted that yappy dog. No, I didn't. Whose dog is that?
Not mine.
Perros?
What about now?
Yeah.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Okay. This is a redstart.
Yeah, American redstart, female.
This is a female, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a common Pastor domesticus.
That's a bunting.
Just a common passer. Let me see. Hold on.
That's a female. What do we call that? Steve, what is that? You're muted, Steve.
Right now.
There you go. Black and white warbler.
Black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Flycatcher of some sort.
This is a black whiskered vireo.
Vireo, black whiskered vireo. Wow.
There is something so much special with this bird because we have a song, a Dominican song, that talk about two birds, a male and a female. This is the male. This is the Julian Chibi. Julian Chibi is the sound that the bird does.
Oh, okay.
And we put the same name, Julian Chibi.
Julian Chibi.
That's right.
Cool,
I never saw this bird before, and I was so glad to.
Is that your Perros?
What?
Is it ruff, 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 ruff? Is that your dog?
Oh no, maybe some neighbor. And this is a marble. It's called this butterfly. There's something so interesting in this butterfly, and it's that every time she moves, always is with the head pointing the floor, never pointing to the.
Oh, really? The head always points down?
Yeah, always. He moves and always put upside down. I don't know why.
Maybe he's depressed.
There's a little female mango.
Mango hummingbird, right?
This from my window.
Ah, beautiful.
I don't know which bird is this. This is a playero bird.
That looks like a yellow legs, a common yellow legs to me, but I don't know.
Like a shark.
Okay, this picture is upside down.
Oh, look at that reflection.
I did it to trick.
Wow.
It's upside down, really.
Wow. And Alexandra, if you get a chance to go to the Dominican Republic when the vaccine is out, Raphael would love to host you. They have the hospitality like you've never seen before. And they have these pools all over the place, cenotes or ponds of water that are crystal clear, 40 feet down. And
wow.
you float in them and you see these kind of reflections and it's just unbelievable. So if you and the hubby ever decide you want to go to the islands,
you're very welcome.
Raphael will
But it's
take
supposed to be good bird watching there, isn't it?
Very good. Yes, it's excellent. We went bird watching there. That is the Chinese orb weaver, right? Spiny
yeah.
orb weaver.
Yeah, that's right.
It's only about the size. It's only the size of your
lovely.
pinky nail. It's very, very small.
Yeah, it's really small.
Very nice.
An osprey.
Osprey.
What a great,
Love it.
and that's a great conservation story for us, right? The osprey was almost decimated in the 70s. So
Yeah, and they're everywhere now, which is great.
yeah, and to see him come back, what a great shot.
And that's the common gallinule, we call that here.
Yeah, that's right. We call it the same.
And a log.
We call it red beak. We call it.
No, the bird formerly known though as the common moorhen.
Moorhen, yeah. Or the chicklet bird, because then the beak looks like a piece of candy that we sell in the United States called the candy corn.
Yeah.
So the beak looks like a big piece of candy corn. Wow. Steve?
First guess is orange crown warbler, but maybe a Tennessee.
What is this, Raphael?
I have to name
It's a mystery.
I have to. No. It's a prairie
Palmchat?
warrior.
It's a what?
Prairie.
A prairie warbler. Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
okay.
That's interesting. A lot more gray than, you know.
It's a lot more tall too and slender than our prairie warbler.
Well, I'm
Yes.
sure it's the ones we see come through and it's migrated down, but it's got its fighting weight
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fitness going right there.
What the heck is that? That's a
We
tanager
call
of
this
some kind.
we call this four eyes.
Four
Cuatro
eyes.
Cuatro ojos.
Yeah. Now that's a.
There's something interesting with this bird. I live in an island that is shared with another country, with Haiti. So they have a bird just like this. This is a black headed, but in Haiti they have a gray headed.
Mm.
And they just have this bird in this side of the island, and we have this bird in this side of the
Yeah.
island.
Well, there's a boundary there. The mountains.
Yeah.
And on one side of the mountains, the weather is totally different than it is on the other side of the mountains.
That's
and
right.
That's why
That's right.
one country is so rich with resources and one country is so poor.
Yeah.
One of the reasons. Yeah.
It's a long story.
Oh, I know. But the weather is totally different on each side of the mountains.
Yeah,
So I can see how
that's
you would
right.
have different species.
That's right.
Yellow. Well,
This,
no.
this is a Cape May. Also.
Cape May warbler.
Yeah. This is a young one,
Cool.
and this is great blue Heron.
Right. And I don't know if you were on when Alexandra's the hubby was explaining that they had a gray heron in their driveway yesterday, flying low across their driveway, which is a very similar bird.
No,
That's a black crown night heron,
Yeah, that's right. This is a young one.
maybe. And the pelican.
Yeah, a brown pelican. Beautiful.
Right. The funny bird, the pelican, that beak can hold more than its pelican.
Wow.
It's really big. This is the Caribbean Sea. Really warm weather here. I was sweating.
Wow. I guess you guys saw this photo. I'll open up break in here for a second.
Well, we walked like to 12 kilometers this day. Wow.
How about that one, huh?
Big mouth.
I invited Betsy to come on the show, but she couldn't make it. Betsy's a very, very interesting person. I'd love to have her on the show sometime, but she doesn't. She's not internet savvy, and she does not have very fast internet or a computer to use. So, so this is our American pelican. it's called. And it looks like it just ate a football, and an American
right.
football, and it's trying to fit another fish in there. So yeah, I have. Did you have more photos? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Raphael.
Just a couple. Yes. Okay. This is the same there.
All right, the sandpiper.
Sure. Yeah.
Look how beautiful that beach is. Wow, look at the moss, the plants. Or just
There's something interesting. Do you see this rock? This is sand, petrified sand.
Mm-hmm.
This is petrified sand.
Oh, petrified sand.
Yeah.
Wow, and it looks like it has plant growing on it.
Well,
moss.
Yeah, but I mean in the bottom. Do you see in the bottom?
Yeah.
It's different.
In the foreground. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, I don't know what that is. A weaver.
A weaver. This is a weaver. Yeah.
Yeah. Making its nest, and that's a weird looking grackle.
Yeah, this is a. Gray Antillan grackle. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's great. I'm glad you signed on.
It's different because it's leucistic.
Leucistic, yeah.
Yeah.
Or abnormally pigmented, because there's a lot of discussion about whether a bird can be leucistic, because it's generally describes mammals only. But anyway, that's a long story. And that's a cuckoo.
Yeah, it's a young one, and it's crying for food.
Yes, food.
It's demanding food.
We saw a cuckoo when you and I went birding.
I remember.
We saw the cuckoo.
This is my favorite bird.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And this is my last
El
picture.
Sol.
Beautiful.
El Sol Magnifique. Wait, that's French. I don't know. Beautiful.
Well, this is what I wanted to share with you today.
That is awesome, man.
Hope you enjoyed this like me.
Always. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, thank you for that, Raphael. And Alexandra, have you seen more barn owls since our last talk?
No, sadly not.
You should get the hubby to find
every day, but
you should get the hubby to find some field mice and staple them to the poles outside.
Oh no!
And see if they'll come hunting them. I'm kidding. I couldn't stand that if you did that. But yeah, Steve, I have the receipt from the glass people, and I'm going to send that over to you in just a minute.
Great, thank you.
So that's awesome. And listen, we've got some pretty high-end guests lined up, aside from you, of course, for some shows in January. But everyone is celebrating holidays with their family right now. So we may or may not have a show Saturday. But unfortunately, it looks like whether I invite an open forum or not, we get the same people, which is great because you're my favorites anyway. And I don't really care if anyone else shows up or not. It would be nice if some of the sponsored photographers would have shown up, but that's all right because people have things to do. So anything else before we go? I guess I could tell you the story now real quick if you're interested while Steve's not here. So my camera gear was stolen in November, and let me search real quick so I can show you this guy. Okay. So this guy right here, Tandat Lee in Garland, Texas, was selling all my stolen camera gear on Facebook. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's him, and he bought it from somebody, on Facebook or whatever, and there was a large used camera sales group on Facebook, and one of the moderators saw the news story on the local news, and he happened to live in Atlanta. So he contacted me and told me, hey man, this is all your gear. And this guy here, Tandat Lee in Garland, Texas, is trying to sell it.
Oh.
So he had pictures of my cameras and my lenses and my tripod and everything for sale on Facebook. So we caught the guy. Okay. Saturday.
Oh, brilliant.
No, well, there's more to it. Yes, that part was great. So Saturday, I called the police department in Garland, Texas, and I spoke to the policeman, and I explained, here's the situation. This guy's selling my camera gear. He says, you know, he didn't steal it. He didn't know it was stolen or something. And the police officer in Garland, Texas says he can't do anything to help me. There's nothing they can do. We've got the guy's name. He's in your city. Here's the police report. Can you not go arrest this guy? And he said, no, he hasn't. If he doesn't know it's stolen, then it's not a crime, and yada, yada. So he said, if you'll
Really?
yeah, he says, if you can get your local police to call us, you know, the DeKalb County Police, which is where I live, if they'll call us, then we'll see what we can do. So I called the DeKalb County Police, the detective that's working my case, and tried to get him to call. No answer. Did not reply to emails, would not answer the phone, did not return a voicemail. So all day Saturday, nothing happens. Sunday, all day Sunday, nothing happens. And the people in the Facebook group are sending this guy messages telling him how much trouble he's in. And he agrees to turn over the gear to the police. He agrees to come and come clean and give the gear to the police department. So Monday morning, because he's very scared, because you know, I was serious, and so were the moderators. And he was committing a federal felony here, because he knew the gear was stolen, and it was in 2 different states. So that's a felony, which is much more serious than just a misdemeanor. So we talked him into turning the gear in, and I call Garland, Texas, to speak to the person in charge, and spoke to the lieutenant there and said, listen, Tandat Lee is going to come turn in all this gear today. It's Monday morning. Okay. And I realize I can't get anyone to answer. The local police don't care. They won't answer. And he said, well, okay, we had a long talk, and I was a military veteran. So he said he was going to do me a favor or whatever. But anyway, he says, okay, we'll take the gear. So I tell this Tandat Lee guy, please go take the gear to the police. They're waiting for you, and you won't get any trouble. Just turn in the gear. And he's already sold some of it. So he goes to the Garland police station, goes in and tries to give them the camera gear, and they won't take it. They said, no, we can't take it. We don't know anything about this. So the lieutenant never got the word to the policeman. So they don't know anything about it, and they just send him on his way. They say no.
For real?
So the guy sends me a text message from the police station with my camera gear, a picture of himself. You know, they won't take the gear. What do you want me to do? So I called the police and spoke to the police officer and said, the guy is in your parking lot with my camera gear. Can you take the camera gear? Oh, I don't know anything about it. Well, I said, I already spoke to Lieutenant such and such. And they said, okay, send him back in and we'll see what we can do. He goes back in a second time, and they tell him the same thing. We can't take it. That's the police in our country. So that's the last I heard from Tandat Lee, because he no longer has any fear of being arrested. The police aren't going to arrest him, obviously. He's been in there twice. So he just takes off, and he's still selling the gear on Facebook. And the police didn't do anything about it.
I'd love to see it if it was the policeman's own gear, what they would do.
You know that. So, you know, the story was, we can't, our hands are tied. We can't do anything. You know,
Do you mean they can't do anything?
Yeah, exactly. And what can I do? You know, I mean, I can't go beat him up or anything. I can't fly to Garland, Texas, you know, but that's how it was handled. So luckily, you know, I had insurance, and I got a partial reimbursement for the camera gear. So I've already ordered camera gear. But there's been 2 other people that have been broken into there since my break-in, including Steve. And these people are not going to stop until somebody catches them. Yeah. So,
well, obviously it doesn't matter if you steal things, because the police don't care. So just steal whatever you like.
Well, that's another conversation. And, you know, the United States right now is in a really, really bad amount of turmoil because of a number of reasons. But that's the situation here, and no one cares. You know, it's just whatever. I could have walked in there with a severed head of my girlfriend and said, I just killed my girlfriend. And they would say, I'll come back tomorrow. You know, I can't help you. So that was that story. And Steve, you picked a great time to come back because I just got finished with that story.
It sounds like that was the DeKalb County Police. I was giving them the information for the case report. And by the way, Stephen, I was the second one today.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know who else?
No, she wouldn't share that information.
Okay. It's 2 break-ins today. Okay. Well, we're going to go put those cameras in. I'm going to go put them in now. If I can't get anybody to help me, then hell with it. I'm going to do it myself.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, what a bummer. Way to kill the buzz of our show, Steve. Thanks for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If we had a board, right?
Yeah. Well, we're going to take care of that today or tomorrow at the latest. So I'm going to wrap that up for this week's show. And Alexandra, thank you so much for being so loyal to our show. And Steve and Raphael, I expect you every week now. So we will have some pretty good guests coming up after Christmas, and I think you'll be impressed with a couple of them. So we're going to sign off now from Sunlit Earth from this week in birding and nature photography with Sunlit Earth. And I'd like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our show. And we will see you next week right here on the Sunlit Earth Facebook page. Adios, and let's go birding.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.